Get your popcorn out. We have got some rugby drama. Johnny Sexton, former Irish international fly-off, recalls what was said between himself and Reiko Ioane at last year's Rugby World Cup following Ireland's exit at the quarterfinals. Oh, man, Johnny Sexton's new book, Obsessed, has caused a bit of an uproar around the rugby world with the contents of it. We've all waited, or a lot of people have waited for about a year to finally hear what was said after Ireland's exit out of the quarterfinals at last year's Rugby World Cup. What was said between the two players, and I'm all for it, man. I've got my popcorn. I've just been reading all the articles, been watching lots of clips about it. Enjoy retirement, you cunt. You C-word. Ooh. Before we get into it, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Play on? Is it sour grapes? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Obviously, try and keep it respectful. Yes, some of you might not think that what Reiko Ioane said was respectful, but keep the comments respectful. Yeah, I do want to know or hear what you guys think. Hit that subscribe while you're there. Let's get into this. So last year at the 2023 Rugby World Cup, Ireland were eliminated in the quarterfinals. The big hoodoo, the curse of the Irish rugby team is that quarterfinal mark. They have never progressed from there. The result was one thing, okay? What was said between Reiko Ioane and Sexton following the loss or the end whistle is something else altogether. Holy. I'm going to read a couple of, just a clip. So this is from New Zealand, the New Zealand Herald, and it's obviously been taken from Sexton's book, so Obsessed. In an extract of his autobiography, Obsessed, in the Sunday Times, Sexton alleges Ioane made light of the Irishman's last test. I couldn't bring myself to watch the quarterfinal back. I don't think I ever will. I don't need to. I've mentally replayed every second over and over. It finishes the same way every time. Ronan Kelleher still plows into Brodie Retallick, and Sam Whitelock goes in for a poach, clearly without releasing. To be honest, I thought that at the time as well. But anyway, somehow Wayne Barnes awards him the penalty, even though it has all happened under his nose and it's all over. And as I stand there, hands on hips, staring in disbelief at Barnes, Reiko Ioane still comes up to me and tells me, get back 10 meters, penalty. He says, back 10. And then after Barnes blows the final whistle, he says, don't miss your flight home tomorrow. Enjoy retirement, you cunt. Ooh, so much for the All Blacks' famous no dickheads policy. So much for their humility. I walk after Ioane and call him a fake humble fucker. It doesn't look great, me having a go at one of them just after we'd lost, but I can't be expected to ignore that. Holy, was there a little bit more that I did? Later, I got in touch with Joe Smith, Then the Barrett brothers, Bowden, Scott, and Geordie were real gentlemen too, as was Artie Savia, who had some lovely words of consolation for me. I appreciated that. So my first bit about this, okay, I'm going to cover the word use. So it's the C word, cunt. In Australia and New Zealand, this word isn't as shock. It doesn't have as much shock value as the rest of the world, okay? It depends on what context you say it. Because if one of my mates calls me, like, hey, you're a good cunt, like that's the best, that's a good compliment to get. You're a good cunt. That's a great compliment to get. But again, context is a big thing here. So in this, obviously, Ioane wasn't saying it in that context. But man, I love the shit chat. I love shit chat. My whole rugby career was based off me talking shit to my opponents, okay? One rule I always had for myself was never get personal. Don't talk about someone's family or their wife, like mother or, stuff like that. Don't say that. I don't like copying that, so I'm not going to give that, okay? But one thing I don't like about this is that the shit chat was after the game. I'm all for shit chat during the game, but when the game's over, when it's all said and done, it's easy to talk shit after the fact, okay? After you've either won or you've dominated an opponent, like then it's easy to talk shit. The gold comes when you talk shit during the fight or during the match, and then you end up winning. Like Peter Ioane, that little bit of shit chat that he spoke to Sam Cane, telling him that he was a shit Richie McCaw, and Ireland ended up winning that game. Love that. That is ultimate shithousery. That's niggly. No, that's not niggly. That's great. I love that. But it's the shit chat afterwards that I'm not the fondest of. I'm all for shit chat. Hey, regardless, man, it builds the hype. I feel like it builds the hype of the game as long as it's in a kind of like, I wouldn't say respectful way. You can probably look at this and be like, there's no respect in that at all. And the rugby purists are probably looking at this and thinking, man, we're gentlemen. This is a gentleman's game. We don't want this niggly chat, this shit chat in our game. But let's be honest, the average punter, the average Joe Blow watches his rugby. We're bloody hooligans, mate. We love it. What's your normal talk to your mates? It's shit. When you're talking against an opponent or playing against an opponent, your rugby, your local comp that you play on the weekend, think of all the things you've told an opponent. Before we say anything, let's not get on our high horse here, okay? Because I can see both sides of this argument. I'm all for the shit chat. It builds the hype. It builds everything around the contest. You look in America, UFC, those guys, look, it's a free reign. They can say whatever they want. NBA, the coaches even get involved. NFL, the coaches get involved, talk shit. The players talk shit about each other. It builds the hype. It builds rivalries. And then at the end of the day, after it's all said and done, there's still that mutual respect for each other. I think if you're chatting shit after a game, it's a bit niggly. That is a little bit niggly. But I also get it. There was that much hype around this game. Ireland, without, I think, favourites at the time. The quarterfinal curse was a big thing. It was one of the best games of the World Cup, this All Blacks Ireland game. People kind of wrote the All Blacks off, and All Blacks to come out for the performance like that, whether you thought that the last penalty was supposed to be a penalty for Ireland or against Ireland, whatever, it is what it is. New Zealand won, All Blacks won that game. And then Reiko's come out and said that, enjoy retirement, you can't. Damn. Like, at the end of the day, results and performances are always going to come out on top. You can say what you want. You can talk as much shit as you want. On the day, whoever wins it comes out on top. Okay, so you can roast someone during a game, but if you end up losing that game, that roast means nothing. That means absolutely nothing. I'm all for adding hype towards the game, adding hype towards rivalries. I get, though, the other side of it, that this is a gentleman's game, yes, played by hooligans, but you kind of want to keep some sort of like the mutual respect in it. But man, I'm all for a bit of shit chat. I love it. It's building towards the end of year tour where All Blacks play Ireland again. Yes, Sexton probably won't be, he's not playing. Reiko will be playing. And you can best believe the Irish fans are going to absolutely give it to him. Whenever he gets the ball, if he makes a mistake or his name gets announced, oh man, it's just building towards that. And like I said, I'm all for the shit chat as long as it doesn't get personal. I do want to hear your guys' thoughts on it. What do you think from both sides? Let's try and keep it a little bit respectful. What do you think about it? What can Reiko Ioane's response be towards this? Because I don't think Sexton has made any porkies here. I don't think this is a lie. I think this is what's actually happened and what's gone down. Great publicity for his book. Love that for him. The marketing he's doing on this, fantastic. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.